Hey, how's everybody doing today? Will, just in time prepping. Hey, we've been talking about getting prepared, and I'm trying to keep everybody in the loop of what's going on so that you can see that just because everybody's harping on buying all the best stuff and getting ready for when shit hits the fan and stuff, they're really not talking about what's going on. They're trying just to sell you goods. I try not to do that. Sometimes I probably do, but I just try not to. But today I got some statistics, I guess you would say, to kind of run by you so that you can see how important it is that you do keep creating your super list and that you keep trying to do the preparing thing, because you just never know when SHTF's really going to happen. So I brought some statistics to the table this morning, and it's just going to be a short video, I hope, and just for you guys just to keep some things in mind. So you guys keep track of the news. Everybody says fake news, but it's not really that fake. It's just something that our President Trump put together during his campaign. The news outlets do the best they can with the information they have. It's been going on for a long, long time. And sure, they get things wrong, but so do we as Americans. We don't do everything perfectly either. We just do the best we can on a day-to-day basis. So I have some statistics here, and I took them from an NBC outlet, and I want to make sure that I get that in there so that you know that I'm just not telling you off the cuff, and I'm not doing any plagiarism either. So I'm going to tell you that 76% of Americans believe that within the next 4 years we're going to be going to war. Now, if you know anything about history, I'm kind of older than dirt, so if you think back, every time we have a Republican government in place, they tend to want to go to war. It's just something, I don't know why, but that's just in the statistics. But I'm not going there today, so let's just keep on going. 76% of Americans fear that we're going to be going to war, and they're saying it's going to be within the next 4 years. Now, this is according to NBC, and that number has jumped to 10% since February. So since February, it's jumped from 66% to 76%. And the reason for that probably is North Korea. And just to throw some ideas out there for you to think about, 42% of Americans think that we'll be going to war with North Korea. 28% of Americans think that ISIS will bring the war to us here in the United States. And 18% think that possibly we have a chance of maybe going to war with Russia. So those are some statistics. These are numbers that have been polled. And these are Americans saying that these things could possibly happen. Now, the most urgent one, we all know, is North Korea because of the missiles that they fire. And I was reading an article yesterday. Excuse me, let me get a drink here. You like my sign? I just figured out how to do that. Not too techy, so I was pretty impressed. So anyway, go back to it. 42% of Americans think that the most urgent thing we have is North Korea. And like I said, I read an article, I believe it was just yesterday, is that the Navy has this new weapon. It's called a LAWS, a laser. Shoot, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a laser And it doesn't just, it's for land, air, or sea. It takes the place of bullets. It cost them a few million to develop it, but you know, this is what impressed me. It takes 3 people to operate it, and for every shot they take, it costs them about $1. Now, that's a whole lot cheaper than the weaponry that we use currently. If we think about the Moab bomb that we dropped on Iraq, that thing cost us a few million bucks, and that's money that the United States just doesn't have right now. So I was kind of impressed with this laser thing. So, oh shoot, my picture went out. Oh well, let's keep on going. So, Russia meddling has kind of got America divided right now. But, you know, even though we have the division of the United States, it's still important that we keep our eye on the ball here, and we keep our eye on North Korea. North Korea, as we all know, wants to do some pretty bad harm to the United States. The little guy that's in charge over there, he, I believe, is kind of mentally unbalanced, but that's just my opinion. And I believe that they want to try to shoot a missile over here and kill as many Americans as possible. So Russia has us divided, but North Korea is actually in the back of our minds. And like I said at the beginning of the video, most Republican administrations like to go to war. They figure that's the easiest way to get out of debt, or deficit, I guess is the right word. The deficit, to keep the deficit down. So, out of all the fears, 59% of Americans want to use diplomacy instead of going to war. Now, that's a pretty high number there, and I believe that diplomacy is a whole lot better than going over and trying to blow the heck out of everybody. That new laser we have is good for shooting things, ships, drones, and things like that, but they still are working on the generation 2 of that, and that will be the one that will be able to shoot down things like missiles out of the air. So, I just want to let you guys know that here is the greatest threat. This is a poll by NBC, and they get their polls from other places, but they polled this one themselves. I think it was 500 and some thousand Americans. So here's I'm going to read this off so I don't get it untrue for you guys. But the greatest threat by party is 45% of Republicans think we're going to go to war. 39% of independents think we have a chance of going to war. And 42% of Democrats. So that is a pretty good idea of what Americans are. I mean, even though we are divided, it still shows that regardless of Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever, that we still have a concern about going to war, and we just really don't need to go into another war. We're really not all the way out of Afghanistan. So now, a year ago, Americans were 10% sure that we were more safe. A year ago, they also thought 59% of us thought we were less safe, and 28% thought we were about the same as we were now. So, in my opinion, North Korea has emerged as a huge flashpoint. So it all comes together as what we're doing as preppers. if we go to war, either on our soil or attack them, it's still going to be shit hits the fan. It still comes down to, are you going to be prepared for that? It comes down, are you getting prepared to take care of your family in those times of war? So these are all things that just come into play during the course of your everyday life. Think about it, shit hitting the fan. Shit hitting the fan could be a lot of things. But in today's day and age, I truly believe that Americans fear going to war with North Korea. It could be, like I said, ISIS or Russia, but Americans' biggest fear is North Korea. And so that's what today's video is about, is make sure that you're actually preparing. Because, it's, I'm not doing a video about zombie apocalypse or anything like that. I'm trying to do a video about real life stuff. So get out there, make sure you're preparing, make sure you're getting the gear that you need to take care of yourself and your loved ones, and make sure that you're always keeping your eye on the ball. So that's what I have for today, boys and girls, and I want you guys to know it's important with what we're doing. I'm going to try to figure out how to keep that thing on. It must have gone into safe mode or something, but I was pretty impressed I got it to even come up to begin with. So anyway, that's it for today. I want you to know to give me a thumbs up on my video. I want you guys to go out and watch other videos. I want you guys to give them a thumbs up also. I want you to leave some comments down below, and if you haven't done it already, please hit that subscription button, because if I don't know that you're actually watching what I'm doing, how can I keep coming up with new ideas for you guys? So that's it for today. God bless you, God bless me, and God bless the US of A. Catch you next time.